window over here.
I will refresh my stream window. Hopefully we'll get something to see there. If anyone can hear me. Well, it now just shows 73 clicks to me.
Yeah, I know. I don't see anything right now. But I'm trying to figure maybe I'm on the wrong page. If we check the stream,
broadcast is now live. We click it.
One is offline and I'm pretty confused right now. Let me see if I am on the right place. Should be. It says live here.
Yes, same here. Does it now transfer? Why do you use Hangouts? Can you hear us, Gutter Boy?
Oh, do you see something?
No, I do not receive a sign, but that might have a different reason. I sent pictures to other Skype. Okay. Can anyone hear us? Please answer in the chat if you can hear us.
Still, I am not on that chat. Figure out to get to the page.
Adde, it seems that they are now that they cannot now hear us. Yeah. Okay, elevator, yeah, can finally hear me.
He can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
It works, Adde.
Works, great. But can you send me the link to that page so I can see everything as well? Because I can't find it.
I can do that. Hopefully it works for you too. Wait a moment. Good question. How should I send it to you on the... I'll just send it to you on Skype if that is possible.
Do that.
Wait a moment. I need to log back in and then we got it. There.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, yeah. Now they finally can hear us. It's pretty amazing. We beat the system, Adde. We beat the system.
Finally. Everything works as it should.
Well, after these 30 minutes of pure boredom, it took very long. Just 5 years left.
My glass of Coca-Cola to celebrate this moment.
Yes. Okay. Then, yes, should be finally the moment to say welcome to all the people who are going to watch our live broadcast. The first of its sort, as far as I know.
Welcome to the Elevator podcast, our first pilot episode. As you probably know, we had a lot of technical difficulties. And apparently we dropped some viewers, but we have 6 viewers right now. That is quite great still. So
yeah, what is the live stream about?
The only thing I need right now is the schedule. Find out what we are talking about tonight or this morning if this is USA.
Well, I keep asking the first question, but the first question, Adde, goes right to you. User Old Lifts Modern Lifts asks you for putting her channel onto the list of other interesting channels. Do you want to do that?
Well, I can do that. I can actually do that right now.
Okay.
But it's not a problem.
Then one very important part of this live stream is we talk about videos that you published or someone else published and you just want us to discuss about a little bit. For example, how good the elevators are and such. And well, just send us in the link and then we're gonna do a small review about this.
It wasn't as easy as I thought. I need to find her channel before I can add her on the list.
She has recently written a message on the chat, so you can just take the link there and include it.
Right, perfect.
Yeah, okay. Send me a link in, good boy, and then I can watch the video and say what I think, and other can do it too. Yep.
There it is. It is lost. Maybe it's pop up on the list. It didn't. It pops up if you expand the list. Maybe I should move it up a bit. But who should I sacrifice then? I don't really want to sacrifice my close friends at all, or my big idol, but someone must go.
Well, for me, the list is longer than what I can actually display on the site, so I just caused it to randomize. Good boy, you cannot send links on the chat. Is that not possible?
Probably not. Then we should try all the solutions somehow.
Yeah, good thing.
If we can do like, you know, if you copy the address bar, you know, the last end after the watch.
Ah, yes, okay.
Equals and then random tokens. That is the authentication number of the video. If we copy that and paste it here, then we should be able to see the video something.
Well, if you want to send in a link of a video, just send in the numbers and letters behind the V, and what is that symbol actually called in English? I forgot about.
Equals thing.
Crossing.
Watch question mark V equals and then the authentication number.
Yes.
Like
well, I write it down. Like this, and then
there's an authentication number. Well, that works too.
Yeah, that does it also.
Good.
We can fix the rest of the link by ourselves. Okay, well, that lift is interesting. One of the first lifts I filmed. We're gonna see that. I'm gonna first check out the video of Elevator Yak. Here we go. YouTube. Loot and Rosé an elevator in Stockholm. Do you see it, Adam?
I work on it, but well, I have some copy and paste problem here. There it goes.
Can you see it?
Ah, yes, that one. Such
Beautiful.
a beauty.
What do you think about the call button? Is it original? Pretty hard to tell, isn't it?
This is indeed an original call button. This is a 1900s Lufthansa elevator in somewhere in Stockholm, and it has indeed the original call buttons, which is very rare for this brand, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
complete and original.
I actually went there myself once. I did ask Elevator Yahoo to show me this elevator since he had access to this place.
Oh, okay.
So we arranged a meetup once, and we went there together to. So he showed me the elevator, and it was such a nice treasure. I really love to ride this one.
Yes. So if anyone wants to see it, just enter the link on YouTube. That is a very nice, beautiful elevator. Well, the walls have actually been a little bit scratched up, so it isn't on the finest condition. Actually, the way it has been built into the building, this in a walled-in shaft, it does not run in the middle of the staircase. I wonder if it could actually have been added on later. The building has been built in the 19th century.
No. That is typical Swedish architecture, that they add such an elevator on the side and not in the middle. It's actually more rare to find an elevator being built in the middle of the shaft rather than a side, especially those from the early 1900s.
Yes. Well, that's pretty different here. Okay, we are now going to the next video where the link has been sent by Good Boy, and I'm gonna watch that video. Original 1980s Thyssen elevators. Here we go.
Ah, yes, that one.
First things first, very nice intro. I really like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that Mr. Matt and Mr. Shea made this intro for Göteborg. They're really close to each other and have collaborated with with each other for quite a long time now.
Adde, just now to come back to the Luthen elevator, a question has been coming up because the elevator now seems to have some issues and stops between the 3rd and the 4th floor. Do you think it would be easy to fix that problem without modernizing the elevator, or do you think it would be hard timing?
Well, this might be quite some relays problems or the floor selector problem that the elevator stops wrongly. So I think it's quite an easy fix. But
okay, nice.
On the other thoughts, on a place nearby, there was a floor elevator on my former place, and it always acted so strange after being on the top floor. So it stopped very crazy everywhere. And
okay. And then modernized it or what?
no, it's still original and it's still broken like that.
Okay.
I have a lot of old video of that actually.
Okay, I'm now seeing the Thyssen elevator. Complete in the original 1980s Thyssen. We're gonna continue. Let me see the fixtures. Well, I've actually seen them before. They seem to be touch-sensitive, generic buttons built by Schäfer, I think. I'm not very sure about this, but I've seen that on various Thyssen elevators already, so it seems to be pretty popular.
It looks pretty cool and old-fashioned. I really like the design around there.
Yeah, I fairly like it too. However, the elevators, where they are just stainless steel on the inside, but I really like the lights above the doors and that it lights up on the floor where it currently goes. I really like that because it's quite old-fashioned, really. Yeah,
I changed the title so it says it works now. The elevator broadcast episode 1, so people that just left the broadcast can return and watch us now talking.
Yeah.
At least I learned my lesson.
Well, my opinion about these Thyssen elevators is, well, they seem to be a little bit worn. They carry out a character which is quite old-fashioned from the 80s, but they're not that much amazing simply because, well, they have got a stainless steel cab and they have got generic fixtures which I can find everywhere here around too. They're still fairly nice, and especially the surrounding area on the upper floor has got character. I mean, do not mean the elevator, but the landing, the door area and such. But they are not that individual or something. Okay, we're now going to check out the next video, which has been sent in by Goodboy2. Here we go. The lift at Brünn Shopping Center got problems. Oh. Is it locked off?
No, I think it doesn't respond to the call. And this is so typical among Kuni MCS elevators, or more correctly say, among Kuni elevators having Traffic Master 260 controllers, because they can only respond in calls on floors you will expect to stop at in one direction each. So if it's going up, it can only receive calls above the elevator, and if it goes down, it can only receive calls down.
Yes, I know. It cannot receive calls in the opposite direction. That is very typical for Travel Master controllers.
But I did see once that once the elevator was on the floor, Good Boy was, the door didn't open, and someone inside could open it.
Welcome back, Finnish lift tours. Just a reminder: if you have got any video you want to see, let us see, Finnish elevators, Finnish lift tours. I mean, sorry. Then you can just send us in the link, like you see it above, just with watch, then exclamation mark, and then the rest of the link. Well, the video is pretty long, and if we watch all the 7 minutes playtime of the video, it starts to bore the people. So we cannot really watch the entire video. We watch some part of it and, get an idea of what is shown and such. I hope this is okay, because otherwise it gets quite boring, really, for others.
Yes, I know.
I'm now putting on my headphones because it's pretty late and I do not want to stress the people here. Finished in 5 seconds. there. So you booked a train journey to Helsinki. That's really nice. Can finish, Casper? Can you actually send us a link of a video we should see and should discuss here? That would be nice if you can do that.
Actually, I have a video I want to review. It is actually your latest video you just uploaded recently.
But wait a moment, Adde, there's someone coming first. Elevator Jack already sent in a link before of the 1930s elevator. That one goes first, then we discuss my latest video.
Okay, so
1932 SC elevator, Skålegatan in Stockholm. Very nice music. Great introduction.
ah, yes, that one. I really like his editing style. It's really classic.
Really nice, yes. Well, typical design. I really like that there are, you know, the steel metal grid continues left and right of the door.
Mm.
But otherwise, a pretty basic elevator of that time with a Barrett gate. Would be more amazing if they could have kept the original scissor gate.
And the place is located in South Stockholm City, so I guess it's near the Medborgarplatsen subway station.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really classic. I would like to go there myself sometime. Like
Okay.
all the other places that my other Stockholm elevator films have filmed, actually. They found really cool elevators.
I actually noticed something about these old historic elevators in Stockholm. When it comes to the buttons and comes to the general design of the cabin and such, it is quite repetitive. I wonder if the buttons have been replaced by a SEA in the 50s or something. It's hard to believe they are from 1932. You know, these black small buttons you can see in the elevator.
Oh, those?
Yeah.
Actually, they have existed in about 30 years. They were actually very common in the 30s, 40s, and first half on the 50s. And then they were replaced with the white light buttons that was also used in the 60s as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it was. And then before that, they actually had some more classical light buttons, but though such old elevators are pretty rare, actually, at least in original form.
Yeah, in original form, but well, it is not that much original because well, it has got a Barrett gate, and the design, just as I told, is quite repetitive. And also, the cabin design is pretty simple.
I think that those buttons were introduced when ASEA removed the swastika logotype from their logo in the 30s.
But apparently, remember the elevator at Skålegatan 26 that has got still swastika logo also has got the same sort of buttons.
Yeah, well, it was. I'm not that sure. I know that these buttons were introduced around that time, and but I'm not really sure how it used to be before these fixtures came out. Yes.
Say hello to Finn Lasse Kiel. He is now online. Finn Lasse Kiel from Kiel here in Germany.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, now
to new ones. And
Adde, you want to discuss my video, which you sent in the link?
Yes, of course.
Of the airport in Hamburg. Yeah.
So here's your lift tour coming up.
Wait a moment. The page is quite a bit messed up right now. Yes. You have got some questions about the elevators in the airport in Hamburg, right?
Yeah. The first, some thoughts about this is most of the elevators appears to be from the early 90s. I really quite like that. I haven't managed to see full videos. Actually, I haven't seen so much elevator videos lately. So I pretty much came unprepared. when about reviewing some interesting elevators I've found lately. But one of the more recent video, I need to navigate to it. So before I show you some actual video, maybe we can put something else in between that someone sent to us.
Yeah, Good Boy also sent us Kone Elevator from 2010. We're gonna open that video as the next one. And the video is named It Has Been Worse. Oh.
Maybe I missed something, because the only thing I could find was finished lift torch link here, below mine.
Okay.
Oh, there, I found it. It
I
was together with a
there's the
comment.
link before. I got a Kone lift built in 2010. I think that link from Good Boy.
Actually, I think that should be the last review before we continue in the
Well, it is a
schedule.
pretty book standard Kone EcoDisc elevator. It has got quite some character. But I still don't get what is being worse about this now. Good Boy, can you explain what is worse about the Kone elevator you sent us the link from?
Anyway, okay, where did I put my schedule?
I wonder where that is actually located. It appears to be an elevator on a ship.
Aha, interesting. All right, shall we continue with the program?
With what?
Shall we go to the next point, leaving the review and talk about another topic?
Well, we would say we first finish the reviews. Okay, people, please do not send in any more links. We are now finishing off the reviews of elevator videos. Don't worry, we are going to hold up this podcast every Friday, so there's still a lot of time to send us further links. We will now finish the links which have been sent in, and then we come to the next topic in our podcast. And the next, my Finnish lift tours. I'm gonna open that link right now. Happy New Year 2016. Fast 1985 Velmet traction elevator in Naantali, actually. It's very interesting. Always the location I wanted to go by using the ferry from Kapell. But it requires a vehicle to be on that ferry, by the way. This is pretty standard 1985 typical Velmet with swing doors. You see it now?
Did you provide me on the links? Or which link should I check?
This link. If it has not arrived on Skype, I send it on Skype.
Right, here it is.
Just have a small look. Well, it appears to be a standard Velmet Schlieren elevator. Of course, we always love to see that. No, it
nice.
cannot be better. And I hope it keeps up for a long time. Very simple elevator that seems to last for a while as long as it is maintained well. Okay, now we go to the next link in our lists. If you have not anything further to say about the Velmet elevator, Adam.
Well, I agree that this is really a nice video, nice elevator. Oh, it sounds great too.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, the last link is, before we stop holding up the reviews, is sent in by Finn Lasse Kiel. We're going to open that one.
Alright, gotta find. There it is. Copy.
Wow, amazing 1930s gated elevator. That's pretty interesting. Finn has actually sneaked to Gävle without any further notice, I think. Oh, pretty
Actually, there's a funny backstory behind this, because he did really send a message to my friend Johan.
Okay, so he did something.
However, it was through the old messaging system that didn't tell you anything about that you received a message. So my friend there didn't see the messages until it was way too late. And therefore Finland's she didn't get any response. It was with the old messaging system, so YouTube's message system has been improved since then, as we all know.
Okay. 1930s elevator. First things first, Finn, it is absolutely great to see scissor gates on this elevator. I love that. This is so much better than Barrett gates. If you're there, Finn, it would be nice if you can respond and tell us what you think about our opinion.
Well, it's very beautiful. I would like to ride this on my own. I wonder how he managed to get in there, because my friend didn't manage to get in there more than just once.
Okay.
He did film it, but I didn't.
Adde, we should make one exception. Hello, user elevators from Italy. You are allowed to send us one link of an elevator you want to get us reviewed, but only one, not more, because we already finished reviewing. But we make an exception for you. So if you want to send us a link of an elevator for us to review, do it now. Partakers? I don't know what's the meter. Yeah, you can now send us a link, elevators from Italy, and then we're gonna check it out and say something about it.
Something
send
to
in the
review.
link like, yeah, something to review. But then we finish reviewing for today. Talk about something else. Vote?
No, we won't vote today. The contests haven't even begun. It is still open for until the 28th to send in more contest applications for those that haven't done that yet. I'm still waiting. Actually, I should check my inbox in the spam filter if I really get anything.
Goodbye. If you want to be on Skype here, let me try to add you. Contact. How to do that?
I think he has the same name on Skype.
Okay, I'm now searching for on Skype. Well, there are several results. Goodbye. I want to add you on Skype, just as you asked me to do, but I have got several results if I'm looking up the registry for users here. So which one is the right? Which one is yours? Yeah.
I used to say.
Then I have to say something about the contest, because, well, that should not be confused. DNG under, okay? DNG under. Yes, I found it. Okay, now I'm gonna add him. Add to contacts. There I come. Okay. Okay, now I need to say something about elevators from Italy. I've got to tell you something about this. Please do not confuse the broadcast with Adde's contest. These are two separate things. The broadcast is just where you send us some links and we talk about the elevator, what we think about it, how we like it, and maybe about the video itself. And the contest, which is held up by Adde, is a completely different thing. So if you send videos for in there, you do it the way Adde explained. This is a completely different thing.
Well, speaking of that, because we are done with the reviews, right?
Yes, we are done with the reviews now.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about the elevator of the year that I'm about to hold.
Yeah.
And if you, our viewers, have any kind of questions, and that includes you, Poster, of course, then you can ask anything at the chat right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have experienced that some users that sent me in applications didn't really understand, or maybe I did have some poor arrangement. Because at first you were able to send in 3 elevator videos to me of your own choice that you have filmed in 2015, and I am reviewing and then confirming these to enter in the contest. And later on, I have sent replies that you can make some titles, a big and a small titles. And still, I haven't really got any responses from anyone, from some users yet. Still, I got some really creative titles from most users.
Titles? What do you mean with titles?
Well, the titles. Well, imagine something like this. The round begins, and I will present one elevator showing a still picture first, then the picture of the YouTube user and his name, and then a catchy title for the elevator. First, a very small supporting title above, and then the main title below. There's I have actually wrote an article about this in my website, www.SummerADDE.se.
Okay, let me see it. I'll now open a link. SummerADDE.se. I think that makes it a little bit complicated to add in some extra things like titles or something, rather than just taking the videos as they are. Stockholm's presenting the elevator with this little and big title. What is the little title and what is the big title? Okay.
Hold on, I'll check the third image. I will see an example. It says Stockholm's only paternoster there. That is an example title that I just brought up for an example.
I got the idea of what you want to do, but let me say something. I think it's quite hard timing for some people to do that, because even I need to think how to describe the elevator that it fits into that theme. The elevators I sent in to the contest. Yes, now it is revealed that I sent in contest stuff. Well, I think it is a bit too much expectations to this to the community. Maybe you can actually think about some titles by yourself, because well, it's pretty hard to tell otherwise.
Yeah, I think so. But still, many users did actually respond.
Actually did respond, okay. Well, yeah, maybe there just was some.
I'm loading in the list here, and I quite, at least many of those that were in the beginning send in contest did send in the titles.
Elevators from Italy. Very important information. The question, which elevators have been sent into the contest, will not be revealed. And I ask you also not to tell which elevators, except to other, of course. Please do not tell me and the other people in the chat what stuff you are sending in. This should be kept as a secret until the video gets finally shown in the contest itself.
Of course, you can reveal your content if you want to, but I won't reveal anyone's content and no one else won't. So I recommend you to not do that either. And yeah.
Okay. Well, let me think about 3 titles I'm going to give to my video, to my 3 elevators I sent in. Classic birdcage elevator. No, I would say the small text. You know, the small text should just be. You know what? I'm just writing it down on Skype. I'm gonna do it fix. Here you go.
Okay. Still, I wanted it as European. That would be official. Elevators from Italy. Yes, they mustn't remain secret, but if you want to, you can amend those shakers, or you can reveal your entries for everyone if you want to. But I wouldn't recommend you to do that because I think
My
that will be a
favorite
backlash
brand
from
of
you.
elevators. That's pretty hard to tell what is my favorite brand of elevators, because in the past it used to be Hummelsbeck, because they carry a very amazing 1950s design, or maybe even 1930s design into the 1950s. You know, the Hummelsbeck elevator has also become the elevator of the year 2013, and that not without a good reason. So this is pretty much my favorite brand. But since I moved to Hamburg, actually, Hummelsbeck elevators cannot be found in Hamburg. They do not belong there. It's pretty complicated to tell. When it comes about the big four, the big four companies like Kona and so on, present day
Yes.
favorite brand, of course, yes, it's Kona. A very correct for elevators.
My favorite brand of elevators is
Deal.
the most favorite is Dive.
Yeah.
Dive Hydraulic Elevator Company.
Yeah,
I love
that's
them
so
because of the everything classic. I like their so-called free ventile hydraulic system. It was invented in the 50s and used up until 1993, as well as their upside-down telescopic hydraulic system that is foolproof, absolutely foolproof compared to most other telescopic hydraulic elevator systems.
amazing.
And I also like the sound, the fixtures, everything about Diva. It's so sad that they have been shut down. Still, the people lives on, and from Diva, one company called Hardware were born. They make generic hydraulic controller, and it's absolutely perfect because it used a servo ventile that makes the speed go so perfect that the elevator doesn't levels. It goes very smooth, extra smooth, and
Nice.
stops smoothly.
Actually, didn't recognize that much that they do not level. I barely remember the Dave elevators in Stockholm Tunnelbahn. They actually do level, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They slow down. They actually moves
Yeah.
like an old traction elevator. That's also why I like this. But that is thanks to the old vent house system. It's not very comfortable, but it's foolproof.
Yeah.
And that's why DV is well known for. And
Yeah.
for the big
It does.
four companies, I also love Kone because of the all generations uh, different designs from the 50s we have in Sweden up to the modern day EcoDisc.
Mhm. I sent you in the second small and large title. ThyssenKrupp is crap for me. What do you think about Thyssen, Adam?
ThyssenKrupp is quite an interesting company as well. They aren't so common here, but I do really like their Synergy Blue models, unlike most other older models from the 90s at least.
Something that amazed me very much about Thyssen, they set up a very unusual. I don't know if it ever came to that it has actually been published on the market. It was actually some kind of an LIM launched elevator, which has been developed in 1985. I think this is a project that never came further than of the planning or of the theory stage.
Hmm.
And that is a very interesting concept because, as far as I remember, it has been told there are no ropes or something accelerating the elevator, but it's pretty much based on magnetism.
Hmm.
It's very unusual, but it did not come onto the market. Maybe it actually was a testing elevator, but I never heard about anything like that. This is something that amazes me very much about Thyssen. Maybe I should say not Thyssen, but Stahl, because well, Thyssen just brought up the companies. You should actually separate Thyssen from what the original companies used to be, because Thyssen is pretty much, it's just a rich family who brought themselves into various formerly independent companies, and that is something I still quite struggling with.
Okay.
That's something you can look up in the history of ThyssenKrupp as well. It's actually been used two different families, Thyssen and Krupp, and they merged together. But pretty much the same family background. They were just rich families who brought themselves into the industry. That, of course, also they helped the industries to develop.
Yeah.
So this is the question: where would be nowadays if they would not have brought the companies up? Pretty hard to tell.
All right. Something else I want to talk about right now, because we don't have any questions right now, don't we?
I did not have any further questions. I'm just thinking about last till and send it to you in later on.
Well, anyway, as you probably know, but that most other of our viewers probably doesn't know, is that I am doing a project of comparing old and new elevator in Stockholm transit system, tunnelbana, pendeltåg, and so on.
Yeah.
And I have also been in touch with SL as well. And beginning in around mid 2014, I began to film elevators in original condition as much as I could. And then I went back later on, and then I saw that the elevators got new fixtures. Some of them even got new coal fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
And these fixtures was the new shaft buttons, as you remember.
Yes.
And some of them were very prototypical and experimental. Others did turn out really well, but some elevators turned out to be very crap with the new fixtures. The fixtures wasn't correctly connected to the controllers,
that's pretty bad.
or acted very wrong. The cold buttons on most of the DEV elevators didn't have any in-use light either. So people couldn't really know if the elevator was in use or not.
But it still did not come when it was in use, actually.
No. But
Okay,
in
strange.
some elevators, they did rewire around that. So the cold buttons would work as the cab buttons with the limited memory that those DEV elevators had. So you could call the elevator unless it was moving away from you. Then you couldn't call. And now they are replacing most of the elevators. Actually, SL have stated that they want to get rid of all hydraulic elevators.
Yes, I can understand that, because the hydraulic elevators, they are often not that much liked anymore. I remember in Germany, we have already undergoing refurbishment of railway station elevators in the in the early 2000s. A lot of old railway station elevators back then have been replaced by Thyssen. No, actually by Otis first, and then later by Thyssen. So there are not many of them left. It seems to be the way to go on most railway stations. However, when it comes to the metro, for example, here in Hamburg, they still build hydraulic elevators mostly. Okay, here comes the notification from Finnish Lift Tours. 5 elevators being filmed in Helsinki. Is that a set of 5 elevators, or is it just a building where there are 5 elevators in?
It says group of 5, so it must be a set of 5 complete original 968 cone elevators. It's really interesting to see here. I'm looking forward for that video, really.
Adde, just imagine 5 elevators in a set without inner doors.
Indeed. Anyway,
Impossible.
in Stockholm, in transit area, there are currently 3 contractors here. One is SMW Elevator AB. That's probably the generic elevators that have been around for quite a long time now, since 2009. And then we have Kune elevators that began to replace elevator on the commuter train station since this fall, as you've probably
Okay.
seen on YouTube.
Yes, I
So long.
remember. That
And
full automatic
then
elevator.
we have Hissgruppen AB, that is another generic company that is brand new actually. They have never built any elevators for SL. They have been around elsewhere, and they made some so-so elevators in my opinion. I wonder if they will impress me as well in the transit elevators, because most of the elevators were more or less automatic. Probably noticed that when you was here around last time, didn't you? Like in Älvsjö. You know, when we came to Älvsjö.
In Russia. Elevators in Russia has been to the notice and no has been Crown Plaza Hotel World Trade Center. I think Valle has actually been there, hasn't he? I think he was at the Crown Plaza in Moscow. Was he?
I don't remember really.
I think they modernized most of the Crown elevators there, but there are also still some original. I think it was the service elevator, which was completely original there. I don't remember that much. But back then it was very typical for Russia to import Kone elevators for a luxury project like this. Okay, now first things first. Say hello to Andrei. He managed to log in right now. Adam. The user AH1993N is Andrei from near Munich. Street
hello,
and zone is SNS. Yeah. I already know him for quite a long time. He already is on. I already know him for 3 or 4 years already, but he never uploaded a video so far. But it's still very interesting. Elevators taught me a lot about it.
I did talk with a Finnish lift film in 1993 a day ago actually, and he talked about the Japan trip he did over the New Year actually. It was quite
yes, nice. I remember.
It was quite interesting to hear because he told me about so many finds of classic Japanese elevators actually. It was really interesting here. One of the elevators he really did find was a 1932 Mitsubishi elevator. I think
beautiful.
It was modernized in 1992 too, but in fact, being built in 1932, that's rare in itself actually, because Tokyo is such a modern town nowadays after the World War and such. And
Yes,
there is the 1932 elevator. So I'm really looking forward to all these Japanese videos that will show up on Finnish Lift Filmers 1993's channel pretty soon.
Well, I think Tokyo got away pretty good in comparison to other cities. This is why my explainer is still some old elevators like this. But very amazing to how you found that stuff.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Oh, I said something wrong. It was not about Schmidt and Sohn, but S&S, that is the railway station service company here in Germany, and they are responsible for the elevators. By the way, they recently published a list of all elevators in their railway station in entire Germany. You can download it in the internet.
Interesting.
The list is very interesting because it includes the brand, the year of construction, although it's not always that much correct. And I think in some cases, not in all cases, even the serial number.
Nice.
So that list is pretty much accurate.
That was great.
This is very unusual for Germany because unlike in Sweden, we do not ever publish every information usually. But it's pretty interesting. I did that right now. What was a car? Goodbye. What was a car?
Yeah, what was he talking about? I think we lost the topic since then you wrote that comment actually. So she'll explain a bit more to be more accurate. At least next time I should try to figure out how to show my desktop and get everything to work so I can show some animations and the actual videos directly on the broadcasting screen next time. So it will be so everyone could hang on and see what is going on and what we are reviewing, what we are showing for the show as well.
Good about us. This is some kinds of podcast now. Yes, it is supposed to be.
Yeah, this is more or less a podcast. I know it seems more like being a question and answer session because it wasn't really properly prepared, really, I guess. And we didn't really keep on topic either. And
Yes, I
wasn't
know.
really many views.
It is quite a first attempt to see how far we can drive that idea. So if there's something that didn't go very satisfying or we have bored you, first things first. Sorry, we did not want to. We're making a first attempt. You can later leave us some comments in the published video about how you liked it and if you should continue it, how we should continue it, or maybe you can also comment it on Facebook because I saw now that the comment is deactivated right now.
And also, in order for us to be more prepared for the next broadcast, I am suggesting that you all are sending us elevators for reviews in advance, so we are more prepared so we can view them beforehand and then get a proper review about those during our next broadcast.
Yes. Well, goodbye. Everything is fine. We clearly use a broadcast program. Can you hear us? Goodbye. Can you hear us, or other people in the chat? Can you hear us? Because seems to be not sure right now. Because Goodbye asks. Okay, no, for next Friday. Do we need it?
OBS. What was that?
Do you want to use a recording or a live stream software for the next Friday, or shall we just continue the way we are doing it right now? Because, actually never change the running system. It works right now, so we should do it the same way the next time.
Yeah, but during maybe in this week or during next week, we should try to configure out the softwares so we can get things up, because now they can only hear us, but we cannot show them anything other than our icons, actually.
Yeah,
that's
problematic. True. If you can fix that, it would be really nice. Goodbye actually offers us to help us with the program OBS. What do you think about it? Shall we try it next week?
Sure, I should also try Varicast that I just downloaded also.
Did you already download that software?
Yeah, I did it previously. Anyway, we should... Well, I shall try to learn more about the software so we became more prepared next time. And since you downloaded it yourself, then we are open for some kind of experimentation.
Casper, how many degrees? I want to know. You know something? I love snow, and there is no bad clothing. No, there is no bad weather. There is just bad clothing. That is everything about it.
Actually, I found something that Botany and Elevators linked to the Facebook group #ElevatorCommunity. Okay. This is an article about the accident. The sensitive views should leave us right now.
Casper says it's minus 25 degrees. Ada me Gustav.
Oh my, no.
Minus 35 degrees. Oh, I love that. You know what? If it gets that cold, you just need a single piece winter suit or something. But if you got it, it makes out very great. Wow, it's so amazing. You know, I love winter, and I love when it's cold, and I love snow. I always want to have that.
Absolutely
and in Hamburg, we do not have enough of this. It's quite rare to have snow here, unfortunately.
Maybe we should change places, you and me. I live in Hamburg and you live here in Stockholm.
I tell you something, the more snow it is, the more amazed I am. But look at this, quite interesting. In Moscow, it's not that cold actually compared to Finland, where it's currently 35 degrees in Latvia, but just -13 in Moscow. And I think in Hamburg is...
Anyway, I found a news article here about an accident. There was an escalator accident in City Company in Skellefteå in northern Sweden. There was a man that simply died after falling in an escalator, actually.
Ouch.
Yes, that is sad indeed. And how exactly it happened, they didn't really know how exactly it happened. When they found the case, the victim was already unconscious when the ambulance personnel arrived at the case. And it was told here that it was really a big fall on many meters. And he even hit a woman that stayed on the lower part of the escalator. She might have hurt as well, says a witness.
Well, I already saw an elevator accident by myself with one elderly woman crashing down the escalator. Was really bad. I remember, something really scary. So when there were some football fans in, I think it was in Helsingborg, and the escalator has failed and started to rush down with very high speed. That was creepy.
Oof. My gosh. Well, there were quite some escalator accidents. I remember last year, a woman fell through a step that broke down on a Thea Graham escalator in Östermalmstorg subway station.
Fuck, this reminds me a lot of Final Destination movie. This should not happen, that the stair That's very scary. Did you film that? Okay, I'm not calling the serious elevator in the university in Moscow. That should not happen, that the stair breaks away, because that makes me actually wanting to avoid using escalators in general. Should not be.
Yeah, what's really a big deal about this? All these S.A. Graham escalators turned off after that incident stayed still. It was really a huge hit on Östermalmstorg and Zinkensdamm stations that only had S.A. Graham escalator exits only. So it was quite a challenge for people to go up and down these. And the Thyssen inclinates around, they did broke from time to time due to overuse during that period. So
poor station, maybe it's possible to get there by bus then.
It was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
They seem to at least made those escalators a little bit more safer, so they will stop for if the steps will broke eventually. But apparently it seems that some of the old Graham escalators seems to be replaced right now. At least the original ones in Midsommarkransen that still have the original steps. You should really check that video out on YouTube. Just to look for Midsommarkransen escalators on my channel, and you will probably find it.
Yes, I'm going to look that up right now because I really want to see it. And I'm posting the link into the chat so everyone else in the chat can see it too. There we go. I think I pronounced it wrong. Okay, found it. RC escalator in original condition. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the link. This shows some original ASEA escalators. When have they been built, Adam?
And the station was opened in 1964, when the red line
Wow, that is very.
began the first operation. Many of
But I
those
must admit,
escalators, most of the
Pardon?
escalators around were still there.
Mm. The escalators are surprisingly wide for an escalator that has been built in the 60s. I thought they are usually narrow.
Apparently not here.
Not
I
in
think
Stockholm.
the Stockholm
Yeah.
subway escalators has always been that wide since the subway was opened from the beginning.
Mhm. So they have quite forward thinking. That was really nice.
Hmm?
No, it was just something we could review. You could see from other being sent. If you want to see it, just enter the link to the title, and then you can see some old escalators which have been built in the 1960s. Are they still original? Are they still there? Are they?
Well, I just passed by that station and saw some fences on one of the escalators, the first one that I rode on the video. So I'm fearing that they are actually replacing those escalators, sadly.
But I must admit, you cannot clearly see that the escalators that old because, well, the steps are quite already metal, and it's quite hard to say to see if they are really old or something.
Well, the difference between these and the other steps are that these steps are flat on the front, so to say, and the new steps are more are not flat actually because they have tracks, something like that.
Nice. Yes, I know what you mean.
So
When have they been built, the escalators at Marienplatz station? Are they from the 70s?
where did it say on Maria?
Rheinstahl, wow, nice. It's very rare to find original Rheinstahl escalators nowadays.
Ah, Rheinstahl. I actually found some Rheinstahl from 1971 on Tab Centrum shopping center.
Ah, yes, I remember.
Sadly, they are not gone. There also
Well,
used to be Eggy Canhan moving walks there as well. Rheinstahl, Eggy Canhan, or
mhm. Yes, I remember they have built these. I barely remember finding in Rheinstahl, I guess Kehrhahn Escalator 2 was located in Wuppertal. And this is also pretty interesting. It was some kind of sports shop which was located on 2 or 3 floors, but 2 floors were a shopping area. And they had 2 elevators without inner doors, which were locked off, but it was possible as a customer to use them just by asking the staff. It was a very amazing Schindler elevators. I filmed both of them, but with my old crappy camera. And then there was that single escalator which just go up. Okay, they're in danger. I'm gonna replace about 120. Well, I think this is
wow.
already. I can understand that because, well, they're pretty old. I remember when I have been in Bonn in 2008 or 2009, there were a lot of Ratgeber escalators. There's actually a wagon factory. I think they're even from Munich, aren't they? And they have built utmost fast escalators. There was a detector step, and you put your feet on it. The step started moving the escalator, and well, it was pretty much like starting an aircraft. It started that much fast, and you really had to watch out when you set your feet onto the escalator not to fall down.
Ouch. Dangerous fast.
Dangerous fast, but I loved it. It was an escalator maybe not everyone could use. I remember my grandmother has actually been complained about that escalator because she was pretty scared about it. So she might not like it got replaced by a slower escalator, but it got really much character.
It's just like in Stockholm when SL want to replace all the hydraulic elevators with more than machine-less ones. It's quite the same actually, if I'm thinking about that. Well, some of the oldest elevators are about to be replaced very soon. 1973 DV hydraulic elevator in Handen railway station will be gone forever starting on Monday.
Oh. 1973, you mean that one with the small cab?
Yeah, that very small cab. They will actually extend the shaft, So the shaft will be bigger, and S&W elevator AB will replace that elevator, not Kuni this time.
Okay.
And it will take about 10 weeks. So it will be finished in April.
Yeah.
Takes
Do you
quite a
like
while.
the M100 trains in Helsinki?
Oh, I love the M100 train. Such a classic, and they probably run for a lot more. I used to ride on the prototype train when I was in Helsinki first time in 2012, I think, or even 2011 maybe, with Hissen 12, and I invited Hissen 12 and Finns Liftfirmer 1993 to visit me on my invitation for Kunis test center in Tituri.
Yes, I remember that.
It was on the
It
same
must
time
be
that elevator from Sweden I rode the prototype trains. I didn't realize it back then, but I have a film of it actually.
Is the
My
prototype
channel.
train still in service?
Yes, but it is in danger. It will be scrapped when the West Metro extension will open pretty soon.
Did they also modernize the prototype train with voice talkers and such?
Yeah, I think so. The other M100 trains will still run for a while more.
Okay. Well, elevators in Russia reminds us to the very crazy accident which happened to some elevators in I think it was in the TV tower. It was a very tall TV tower. I barely remember one of the elevators has even crashed down the tower then.
Wow.
Caused by fire and
business.
Yeah, it caused one of the caused the safety systems to break down too, and the cabin was crushed down all the way down. It was about 300 meters, something. You know what's going to be left of you once you crash down that way. I think it was 3 dead firemen being found in the elevator. With no casualties, okay. Okay, it was it was something different.
There aren't much more to talk, aren't there? I think we are pretty much finished everything. I have nothing else to add.
It's getting pretty late. At least it's getting pretty late in Germany. So I think about yes, that should be it for the time now, and we're holding up the next podcast in Friday of the next week. If everything goes all right, it is Friday the 29th. Does it work for you, Adde?
Yes, it should be all right. I have no other plans, so it should go.
Same here. Okay.
Also, on next week, look for in my channel because I will upload elevators from Borlänge. So look for that content next week at 9 o'clock every Monday to Friday.
Keep that in mind. Okay, I think that's it. I wish everyone a nice evening or a nice day, depending. And yeah, then we see or hear each other.
Week.
And one last thing to Good Boy. I have you on Skype right now, so if you want to give us some information about that broadcasting software, we may talk about it next week, maybe on Wednesday or on Thursday next week, if it works for you. Because we should try it one day in advance this time, so we do not have the issues like we had them today.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, don't forget to, for those of you who listen to this podcast after the broadcast, then you should send us elevator videos to me or to post over through social medias or on YouTube if you want us to review it next week, because we won't review so much elevators videos that is posted directly on the live chat, although we do still respond to those writing on that chat anyways. So see you all next time, next Friday, everyone. And have a nice weekend.
Yes, have a nice weekend and good sleep. Ada, I'm almost hanging upside down. I really need to go to bed. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Goodbye.